Hello friends, today in this video we are going to see this topic which is about layout and printing of your page in this document. Now let's see. Now first thing is your page layout. Now these layouts and paper size, this layout includes what the page orientation, paper size and page margin. Now first thing, like this thing you should be select first before creating the document. That means when you're decided to create a document or paper, then you should decide these things before that. That means what, if suppose I created in one size or in one orientation and then I try to convert it into another orientation, then sometime what, your document misplace the text, images and all that. So this thing you should do it before when you create the document. After the document creation also you can do this, but I will not recommend that one, because in your document maybe you have added the images, text, you give the style to those text and something like this. So if you have decided these things before the layout, then what, it will be easy for you to design your document according to the layout. So when you print out your document, so it will print out as you wanted to print out. So this layout selection is also important for printing. So when you have decided to print your document, to take a hard copy, so it is important to select the proper size and orientation and the margin also. Now first, Word offers two orientation options. First is landscape and portrait. Landscape is like horizontal way. If you can see the paper here in the image, it is like horizontally placed, and that is called what, landscape. In portrait mode, portrait orientation shows like vertical, so it looks like your document goes like vertical. So this is like, you can see it's a vertical way, but and see the text are going like this. And if you set the same document into landscape, that means it goes like this, but the text does not change, it is not rotating the document, the text will goes like this. So that is what orientation, and we have two orientations, we have landscape and also we have portrait. Now if we want to change our document to different these two orientation, then we can change it from the tab, layout tab, and from that in the page setup group we have a command orientation. So when you click on this orientation, then it will open the drop down, and from here you can select portrait or landscape. Now if I have a document here, so now I want to change the orientation for this document, so I'll go to layout tab, and here in the page setup group I have a orientation command. Now I click on this, I have these two options. Now as you can see, it is already selected portrait. By default when you create any document, so it will be by default on portrait mode. So you can change it. Now I want to change it to landscape, so I click on this, and as you can see my paper is now in landscape orientation, and as you can see it is stretched, and you can see the width is increased and the height is decreased, and the text is going like this. Now this page does not have any images, but if suppose this page consists of some images and shapes and something like that, then it will misplaced. So it is better to do this before when you are creating the document. Go back to landscape again. So this is how you can change the orientation. So when you create a new document, suppose I want to create new document, so in that, before adding anything, I'll go to layout, and then I will decide what type of orientation I want. I want layout, landscape or portrait, and then I can create my document according to that layout. Then the next thing is the paper size. So paper size, when you create your document, by default size for your paper is 8.5 inch by 11 inch. Now this is what the default size. You can change the size of your paper also to adjust your data, adjust your text into the page. Now this is important that these sizes must be supported by your printer. That means if I change my size of the paper, so the printer should also support, because the printer have to print that page. So the printer should also support the particular size which I select. Now Word offers me lots of the Word offers some predefined size we can choose from. Those predefined size are mostly the printers supports those size. Even I can use custom size also. Now when you are using the custom size, you have to be careful about the printer, that the printer supports it or not supports it. So if you want to change the size of your paper, again go to the layout tab, and from there we have a size command from the page layout group. Now when you click on that, it will open the drop down and it will show you those predefined size. Now you can choose one of the size whatever you want. So just like in this my paper, I want to change the size of the paper. I go to the layout tab. Here in the page setup group I have size command. So when I click on this, I see those different size here, and it shows the description also, like it is 21.59 centimeter by 27.94 centimeter, and by default my paper is A4 size. It is already selected. I can change it to any other size. If I select letter size, so you can see it changes the size a little, and based on it changes some text also. And I go to A4, back to A4. Now selecting a size, it depends on your printer, what your printer supports. Then even we can go for custom settings. Like if I want to change the size by myself, don't want to use this predefined settings, then in the drop down menu I'll go and I'll select this more paper size. So when I click on this more paper size, it will open this dialog box. Now from here I can choose either from predefined size from this drop down, or I can use to create my own custom size. After doing that, you can click OK to confirm your selection. That means I want to choose my custom size, so I will select the command, and here I have this predefined size, and also I have option here to go for more paper size. So if I click here, it opens this dialog box. Now from here I can even choose some predefined size, or I go to the end and I can select custom, and then I can decide what size I want. I want more than this, less than this, whatever I want. I can choose and then I can press OK. So this is how we can do custom. Then next thing is margin. Now margin is what? The space between your page text and the edge of the paper. If you see here, this is my text which is ending here, and the edge of the paper is here, and between this it is called the margin. So Word makes this margin by default. This is what normal margin. It uses this normal margin to look your paper attractive or readable, and it leaves the margin from both sides, left and right, and also top and bottom. So by default it leaves almost 1 inch. It leaves almost 1 inch in both the sides, left, right, top, bottom. Or if we don't want, like we want to increase the margin or we want to decrease the margin. Suppose I want to fit more text in the single page, so I need to decrease the margin because it is taking too much space in both the sides. So I can do that. Now Word has variety of predefined margin size also, just like the paper size. It has predefined margin size. We can choose from there, or we can use our own custom also. So if we want to change the margin size, again in the layout tab we'll go to margin command here. Now when you select the drop down, so it shows you those predefined margin size here. So you can choose one of these, whatever you want or whatever you like. Like I want to change the margin, so I go here in the layout tab, page setup margin command. I click here, it shows me these predefined things, and by default it is selected normal. Like I want to have more, I want to reduce the margin, go for narrow, and you can see the size from top to bottom and left to right. This one you can see the size in centimeters. Let's say I want to change it to narrow, so I click here, and now you can see it goes narrow. That means the size, it is using more page, and now from my text to the edge, now I have less space remaining. Or I can use more settings. I can use custom margin setting. If I don't like this predefined, then I can go for custom margin. So again, when you click the margin command, it will open the drop down. At the end you have option to select custom margin, and when you click on that, it will open the page setup dialog box, from where you can select the margin. You can choose top, left, bottom, right, and here you can see the preview, and after that you can press OK to select your proper margin. Now I want to have more paper area, so again I will go here. Now I want to have a custom, so I select this custom margin. I select this custom margin, and then here I have option to select like top, bottom, right, left. So I'll go less than 1. I want more area. From top to left to right, and OK. Now you can see it is using more area from top also, and from left, right, and also from bottom. So this is how you can use the margin. Next, you can go for more setup. Like if you can go from one by one here every setting, or you can go for the page setup directly from here. This arrow from the page setup group, when you click it, it will open the dialog box for page setup. That means if I want to go for the custom settings for the margin and size, so I will go here and click on this arrow. It opens the page setup dialog box, where I managed to create the custom setting for my margin. I can select the paper size also from here, default or custom, or layout also. This is what alternatively we can use this page setup. We can directly go to the page setup from here. Then after selecting all those page size, layout, and margin option, now we can print our document. So for printing the document, we'll go to this backstage view. So for that, we'll click on the file tab, and when you click on the file tab, it will take you to the backstage view, and this is the backstage view. So in the backstage view, you have a command here to print. So when you click on this, it will open this print pane. Now in this print pane, you can decide multiple options, and then you can select print. So suppose I want to print my document. So first I have to select the printer. So first, from this printer drop down, when you click, it will open and it will show you all the printers you have. So all the printers which is connected to your system, or which is connected from network, either it is share printer or network printer, you see all those printers here. This symbol means this is your default printer. So you can choose your default printer, or you can choose any other printer. So after selecting the printer, you can select how much copies you want. You want 1 copy of the paper, you want 2 copy of the paper. Like my document has 15 pages, So if I select 2 copy, that means it will create 2 copy of all the 15 pages. That means 15, 15, 30, whatever. After that, you just select more setting if you want. From here, there are lots of different settings are there. You can choose of those, you can choose those settings also, and then you can do what? Finally, you can set print. Now, once you click on print, the document will go to the printer and then it will print it out in the paper according to the selections what you have choose. Now my document is also ready for printing, so I will go to File tab. In the Backstage view, I click here on print. Now I can see this print pane. Now here I can preview the document in this preview side, and then here I can select the printer. Now I'm going to select this printer. This is virtual printer, Microsoft Print to PDF, and it will do what? It will not print the document because it's a virtual printer, and it will do what? It will convert my document into PDF so that we can see that how it will be printed, because we want to see like how it will be printed. So it will just convert it into PDF so we can see what it is printing. Then we can select the copy here, how many copies you want. I'll go with 1 copy. Here you can see how many pages I have, 13 pages. Now here you can select other settings if you want to select. Right now I'm not selecting any, I'm going for print. Now because it is a PDF converter, so it is asking me that where you want to save your document. So I'm going to save it on my desktop so that we can see how it is printed. Print 1 and save. So it has been printed on my desktop. Let's see. So this is the document. I double click on it. And now you can see how it is printed. Paper 1, and you can see all 13 pages are printed. Page 2, we can see the page numbers here. Page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6, and so on. And you can see, so if it is printed from the printer, so in page 1 you will see this, page 2 you see this, and like this. Now we can do was custom printing also. Now, custom printing means sometimes what we don't need to print the whole page. We don't need to print the whole 13 pages. Suppose I want to print only some particular pages. I want to print only page number 1, page number 5, page number 6, or I want to print only page number from 10 to 14, 5 to 7, something like this. So you can use this custom printing option. So if we want to use this custom printing option, so from the same print pane, in the setting, we have this command to select the custom print. From there you can select the custom print and then you can mention what you want to print. Now when you are mentioning the page number, then you will mention, like if you want to mention only some particular pages, like I want to print page number 1, page number 3, so you mention it like this, page number 1 comma 3 comma and so on. And if you want to print the range, then you can mention like 5-7. This is what range, or example 10-14. So that's how you just mention the range or single page, and then you just click on the print command and it will do what? Print that particular pages. So in my case, like I have 13 pages, but I don't want to print all the pages. So I'll go to here in the print pane. Now by default it selected what? Print all pages, and that is why last time it printed what? The whole 13 pages. Now I don't want to print the whole pages, then I have other options. Now other option, I can go for current page, that is what? The selected page which you see here, it will only print that page, or you can select custom. Now custom, now you can add page numbers here. Let's say I want to print page number 1 comma, then I want to print page number 3 to 5. That means I will not print page number 2, and then I will not print page number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, then you just click on print. Now it is asking me to save again, so I will say print 2, and it is been printed. Let's check what it has been printed. So this is my print 2. Okay, page number 1, we can see it's a page number 1. Then I have not selected page number 2, so I go to second. Now you can see directly it is what, page number 3, because I did not selected the page number 2. So after page 1, it directly do what, print page number 3, and then page number 4, and then page number 5, and then done. It is not printing page number 6, 7, 8, 9. It has printed only 4 pages. That is what I selected. Now that is what printing option and custom printing. Now sometime we want to break the page. So we have some break options there, break commands. Break commands helps you to control your document, like how exactly what your document should look like. So you can use these break options. Now there are multiple break options. There are break options are page break, section break, and column break. Now page break means it will decide like where you want to break the page. That means from where you want to break your page. You can break it from anywhere in the document. So if you want to break the page from the place, so anywhere in the document, then you can break it, and then the text after the page break, the text will start from the next page. Then you have section break. Section break have multiple options that you can select from breaking the section from one to other. Section break helps you to break your document into 2 or 3. Then what, you can format them separately. Then also you can break column. Column break breaks the columns. We can convert our document into multiple columns. By default it has only one column, but we can divide it into multiple columns. But columns start from, and with this column break we can decide where the new column should start from. Now first I want to have the page break. So if I want to add the page break, so first put your insertion point where you want to break, and then go to the insert tab. There is an option to break, that is page break. Either you can use Control Enter also. This is the shortcut key, and once you press this, then what, the text will start from the new page. Now in my document this is the story like, so it is starting here. Now I go down. Now you see the number 2 is starting from here. It should not start from here. I want it to start from the new page, because the text is continuously going on, so it is starting from here. So what, I want to break the page from here. So I click here, and then I go to the insert tab, and then I have in this page group I have page break. So I click on here. Now what it do here, it is started from the new page. So this is like the new section. Sometime it is not in line, like okay, now this here again, this section should also start from the new page, but it is not starting. You see it is in the middle of the page, but I wanted to start it from the new page, so it look good. So I can put here. Now this time I can use the shortcut key Control Enter, and now what, it is starting from the new page. So we can use this page break to break the page from anywhere in the document. Now when you break the page, so you don't know where is the page break. If you see here, I break this page from here. Now first I will change the margin. It is not looking good. Now it is looking good. Now you see I break the page from here to here. Now what? This is empty size. Now I don't know why it is empty, because there is a page break, but it is not showing there. So these things, like you press enter, you press tab, space bar, those things does not show in the paper. So what you do, you can see where these inters are there, where the paragraphs are changing, where we are giving the tabs, where we are giving the spaces, and where is the page break, column break. So if we want to see all those things, then we go to the home tab, and then here we have option to show hide. This option, when you enable, you will see all those things. This is what ending of the line, and then you can see the tabs also, you can see the enter also, and you can see here that this is the page break here. So we can see the page break, where exactly the page break is, and where is the spaces. You can see here the spaces are dot. Spaces indicates by dot, and when you press tab it indicates by arrow. For example, here I press tab. You can see tab, tab, tab. If I press space bar, it goes by dot. So if I disable this show hide, now you can't see those things here. So is there a tab, is there a space bar? Because they are not characters, it is not showing, but they are there. So you can see by enabling this, and also it shows the page break, section break, and all that. Anytime you can do enable and you can disable it. Now the section break. So the section break do what? It creates the barrier between different parts of the document. Now allowing you to format each section independently. That means you may want one section to have 2 columns without adding columns to the entire document. That means in the same page, if you try to add a 2-column format, then it will go for the whole page. But in the same page I want to have 2 options, 1 column and 2 column formatting. So I can do it by adding the section break. Now in section break we have different options. We have next page option. It is like a page break option, but it will do what? It will break the section, so that what? The formatting can start from new. So in one page we have different formatting, and the other page we can use another formatting. It will not happen when you do the page break. Page break only breaks the page, does not break the section. Now we can use continue also. Continue, that means it will not start from the new page. The new section will not start from the new page. It will remain on the same page, but only it is divided by the section. That means in half of the page I want another formatting, in half of the page I want another formatting. And also we can use even and odd. Even and odd, that means you can see even means after 2 the second formatting will start from 4, or even odd means after 1 the second formatting will start from 3. That is what we can choose. Now if I want to choose something, like I want to do section break, so here if you see in the document I have divided this page, remember the whole page, into 2 columns. 2 columns, that means here is the 1 column and this is the second column. So columns goes like this, the text goes like this, list. Then there is a paragraph here, but this paragraph is also going into the list. The list looks good when it is divided into 2 columns, but this paragraph is not looking good there. So I want that this paragraph should look in single column. It should appear in single column. Now because the whole page is divided into 2 columns, I cannot do that. So now what I can do here, I can break the section here. So half of the section from before this, when I put the section break here, so before this it will remain in 2 column, and after this I can change it to single column. So if I want to break the section here, so I put my insertion point here where I want to break, and then I will go to page layout, and this page setup I will go for break, and here I have option to select the page break option as section break options. Now section break commands like next page, continue, even, odd. Now in my case I want to have a continue, that means I don't want to start it from the new page. I wanted to have in the same page, but only just I want to break the section so that I can use different formatting. So I select this continues, and then what you can see it comes in the new line, but it is in the same page, but still it is what formatted as a 2 column. So then what I can change it to have a single column. From the same page setup, from the layout tab, I can click on this column and go for single column, and then you can see here it becomes as a single column, and this previous text before the section break, it is still remain the 2 column. So at the same page we get what, two different formatting. So this is that page, and here it is divided into 2 columns. So whatever I type in this page, it will always be like, it will always go as 2 columns, but I don't want this. So I click here, I want this paragraph to be in the single column. So I select here, I go to layout, and then I will go to select the break, and from here I don't want it to start from the new page, so I select this continue. Now you see it comes here in this new line, but it is in what, single column. Then I will go here again in the layout tab, column, and then I will select single column 1, and now you can see this paragraph is now looking like a paragraph. That is what the section break option. Now in the section break, this break option, we have other break options also, like page break. This is what the page break is. We can select it from here also, or we can select it from the insert tab. That will divide the page, then it will say like where the page ends and where the next page will start. Then we can have column break. Column breaks also indicates it do what, if you are creating the multiple columns, then it will decide like where your column is ending and from where the next column will start. That means if you are having a text like this, but I want to start the next column from here, so I can put the sub column break here. So this line will start from here. Then we have text wrapping option. If you have an image and the text is wrapped around the image like this is the image, and if you are having a text, so text is going like this and then wrap around here and then goes on to have like this. So you can select this to separate the text around the object, so it will separate from the image, so it will not wrap around the image, it will just start from the new line. Now if you want to delete those page break or section break, so what do you do? First you have to see those things. So for that, go to home tab and enable this show hide. Then it will show those tabs, those section break, page break, and then what we can do, we can delete them. So once you can see the break, then you can just put your cursor there or your insertion point at the beginning, and then you can just press the delete key, and once you press the delete key, that will be removed. So here it is not showing the break, so I can go here and click here. Now I can see the column break, and here also it is not showing the page break. So I go to home tab and click here, show hide. Now I can see the page break here. So I want to delete this, I just put my insertion point there, and from the keyboard I will press the delete key, and then you can see the text, the new section has come here. So I did what? I did break I deleted that page break, and then you can remove it. Now next thing is what? Columns. Columns are to make your document look a different way, displayed in columns. That means you want to format your text to look into separate columns. Mostly the newspaper, if you have seen newspapers, news articles, those use this column feature to make their text divided into columns. So they look like they have this kind of different formatting in this. Now if you want, then you can also add these columns in your document. Now if you want to add the columns, so you can select the text, and then select the text which you want to divide into columns. Then from the page layout tab, you can select the page setup. Here you have page setup group, you have column command. So when you click on that, it will show you all these different options which you can choose from. You can go for 2 columns, 3 column, or you can go for left, right also. That is what you can select. That means by default always it is be in 1 column. You can choose it to be in 2, 3 columns, and actually more than that also. So this is my text. I want to divide it, so I select. Now I want to divide it into 2 columns. So I go to the page layout. From here, page setup, I have column options. By default you can see it is in single 1 column. I want to divide it into 2, so I select this. Now you can see it is divided into 2 columns. And also you can decide where the column break will also start. That is also you can decide. Or you can select more options like 3 columns. You can go for left, that is left is big, right is left is small, right is big. Or you can go for right, where right is small, left is big. So you have these options. I say 2 columns, I select 2. So now it is looking into 2 columns. And also you can add the column break. Now for example here, and more, you can go for more. As I said, not only 1, you can go for more columns. If you want that, then you can go here and you can go select this more column option. And from here the default presets are there, 1, 2, 3, left, right, and also you can add the number of columns. Right now there is 2. I can increase, and you can see the preview here. You can also change the size, width and spacing between the columns. Now if you want to remove the column again, then again select the text and just go back to the column command and select 1. It will just remove the column. Like I want to remove this column, so I select the text, go to layout tab, again column, and I just go back to 1, and it is goes back to 1. Or I just want to have a 2. So whatever you can change, you can go back to 1, you can go back to 2. Now you can add the column break also. Now column break, why I am adding here? That is why, because I want to start, I want to decide like from where the next column should start. We have divided into 2 column. We have divided this into 2 column. Now I want to decide like where the second column should start. Now in this case, why I want? Because if you see the text here, this is the heading, lease office, and phone number is here and fax is here. Now it is not looking good. So I want that this should be together. So this should start from the here, the next column. So here I want to put the column break, and that is why sometimes you want to put the column break. So just place the insertion point where you want to break the section break, the column break, and then again go to the layout tab and break, and you can select this column break. So when you click it, then the text which you have selected, it will start from the new column. So in my document also, if you see here, it is starting from here. I wanted to start it from the new column. So I select my insert point here. I put my insertion point here. I go to break and then I select this column break. And now you can see it is starting from the new column. It is breaked from here. Now if you want to remove those section column break and all, then again you have to enable those show and hide option from the home tab. Then you can see that column break here. Then you just put your insertion point there and then press the delete key. So I want to delete this. I go to home tab, enable this. I can see now I put my insertion point there and I press delete. And then I can now hide again. So you just delete it and that's it. You deleted the column break also. So that's it for this, students. So friends, that's it for this video. I hope you have liked it. This is what the page layout and the print option. In the next video, we will see some new things. Till then, have a good day. Thank you for joining.